Okay, to multiply a binomial times a binomial, we need to use the distributive property. We will take x times x is x squared. X times 7 is 7x, so we have plus 7x. Negative 9 times x is minus 9x. And negative 9 times 7 is minus 63. Now we need to collect like terms. So we have 7x minus 9x. So that gives us x squared minus 2x minus 63. Okay. Now, I'd like to compare this to if we had x minus 9 minus x plus 7 instead of times the x plus 7. If there's a minus or a plus in between your parentheses, then you're just going to be distributing this understood 1 throughout. So we'll just recopy x minus 9. And since it's a minus, we'll distribute negative 1 here. Negative 1 times x would be minus 1x. And negative 1 times 7 would be minus 7. Then collecting like terms, the x minus the x would go to 0. So we can cancel those out. And negative 9 minus 7 would give us a negative 16 as our total. Okay, any questions there? All right, next, I'm going to bounce off of the x squared minus 2x minus 63 that we had in our first problem. Let's say that you had started with x squared minus 2x minus 63. And let's say that that had been set equal to 0 and you are supposed to solve. Okay, so this is a quadratic. To solve a quadratic, we can factor. We can use the graphing calculator. We could use the quadratic formula. Or if you're in an advanced class, you could complete the square. So if we factored this, what times what equals x squared? Well, you can think x times x. Then you need to think what multiplies to negative 63 that adds to negative 2. Well, we've got a pretty good idea because we know that we started with the x minus 9 and x plus 7. So this factors into x minus 9 times x plus 7, because negative 9 times 7 is negative 63. Negative 9 plus 7 is negative 2. Then we set each of these factors equal to 0. So you can type what the results are into the chat box. So this would give us x equals 9 if you add 9 to both sides. And on this one, if we subtract 7 from both sides, we get x is equal to negative 7. So x equals 9 or x equals negative 7. And we could also graph this. And if you graphed it, you would see that it goes through an x value of 9 or at an x of negative 7.